Hey, it's Congressman Erik Paulsen with you for another installment of our weekly video conversation. I got a lot of feedback and questions on some of the issues we are dealing with right now in Congress on health care and on the budget. So we'll jump right into it, actually. Heard from Allison in Corcoran, who emailed this week with her concerns regarding the conversation in Washington about health care reform. She wrote in saying, I recently read that the Independent Payment Advisory Board law says the new 15-member board is forbidden from rationing care. Why are you so worried? Isn't this a positive step for controlling health care costs for seniors? Actually, thank you, Allison. That is a great question. I had a Congress on the Corner event last week in Plymouth. Also had a teletown hall meeting last week where we heard from quite a few folks about that exact same question. Actually, the new health care law, the President's new health care law, does have a new 15-member independent payment advisory board that will be making decisions on seniors' health care, on Medicare payments. I do think this is going to involve more interruption between the doctor and the patient relationship. It's one of the reasons why there is a bipartisan consensus to repeal this provision of the law. Because while rationing is not defined and not allowed as a part of the new health care law, it will, no doubt, and we heard this in testimony, allow this board, unelected, unaccountable folks, to make the decisions on what payments should be given to doctors and physicians. So in turn, physicians and providers will not be providing certain procedures or care for seniors if they're not going to get reimbursed for those procedures. So it will end up denying care. I think it's a move in the wrong direction. It's probably a reason why there's such bipartisan support to repeal IPAB, as well as hearing from over 350 organizations that represent veterans, small business and large business owners, doctors, physicians, and consumers who want to repeal this provision of the new health care law. I also heard on Thursday from Facebook from Russell in Mound, who is expressing his thoughts on the budget, which was just rolled out this week actually in the House, and he called in to express support on the budget plan. He said, Congressman, I urge you to support the budget plan as outlined by Chairman Ryan on Tuesday. It's a choice between the President's budget of more spending and more debt and the Senate's Democrats going more than 3 years now without even passing a budget, and now the House's budget to get us out of this mess. Actually, thank you, Russell. I appreciate that feedback. And there's no doubt that one of the biggest challenges facing our country from an economic security standpoint is our national debt. It will rob our children of their future. And so the budget that's been rolled out this week in the House has a lot of bipartisan tenets in it. Tax reform to eliminate special carve-outs and loopholes and lowering rates, as well as making sure we've got consumer-directed health care, because we can save a lot of money from the federal government in health care services if we have a consumer-directed health care system. And the bottom line is, hardworking taxpayers do need to be protected, and we can't be spending more than we take in. So the budget, as rolled out in the House, is going to lay out those priorities. I wish the Senate would actually vote on a budget. It's been 3 years. Families and small businesses have to do that. Hope you continue to stay in touch. Feel free to provide your feedback, your input, and more importantly, offer your questions as a part of our weekly video conversation. We may respond directly to you next week. You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter, or on the web at paulsen.house.gov, and have a great weekend.